So
Hmm.
I like our offensive line now. I think it's gelled. It's gotten better every game. And I think it's definitely ready for the challenge. So, from a 49ers standpoint, who should the 49ers be concerned about on the Cowboys D line? We know about Micah Parsons, but
Hmm.
who else is there that
Yeah.
could possibly make some noise?
Okay. Before I start, I see we got Payo time in the comments.
What's
Rams fan.
good?
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, great guy. He came on my podcast earlier this year when we played them. Very, very knowledgeable. Not Rams fan. So,
absolutely.
have you had him on your show before?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
I've been on his channel. He's been on mine. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Great guy.
Oh, great guy.
Um,
Yeah.
so before I talk about our defensive line, I gotta say this: you guys have one of those offensive lines that scare me. I call it the 5 tackle line
Mm.
because all of your guys are 6'5", 300 to 315 pounds. They're all athletic. They could really play tackle if they wanted to. Those are the dangerous offensive lines in the league. Once again, talking about 1995 football. This isn't the big hog league anymore. This is dancing bear league. And you guys have four young, talented offensive linemen, then that silverback on the left tackle spot.
Yeah.
So you guys have a lot to look forward to in the future. Going back to our defense, what bothers me about Micah and D-Law, Micah and D-Law have too much control. Micah wants to only go against the best. It's almost like he feels like it's an insult for them to move him to right tackle to
Mm.
take advantage of a mismatch. So he's always on the left side. And then D-Law is just, I'm a right side guy. You're not moving me.
Mm.
So for those reasons, it's hard to get the pass rush we could get sometimes because Micah likes to stay on that left side. Um, Outside of Micah, Dorrance Armstrong has had one hell of a season this year. He has 7 sacks. He's kind of been an unsung hero against the run and the pass. And he's one of those 6'5", 280 guys. He can play all across the line of scrimmage. He can play from defensive end to defensive end. The only time Micah leaves left tackle is because Armstrong will go to that spot, and then Micah will kind of blitz from the inside on a guard or a center. Another guy you guys have to be aware of is Osa Odigizua,
Mm.
our young defensive tackle from a couple years back. He's starting to kind of get into form on the inside. And then we also have our defensive tackle. Noah Gallimore is one of those guys that's been kind of a name for us, but he's been kind of up and down. So in terms of pass rush, you really just got to worry about Osa, Armstrong, Parsons, and D-Law has
D-Law.
D-Law has a good game against the Giants and the Redskins. I mean, I got to call a spade a spade. If he gets 7 sacks in a year, I can guarantee you 5 come between those two teams.
Mm.
But he's a hell of a run defender, so I can't take
Yeah.
anything away from him right there. But pass rush, you only got 3 guys to worry about.
And that's interesting. Brock Purdy has done a pretty good job in avoiding the rush. He hasn't taken a lot of sacks,
Mm-hmm.
and the great thing about BP is his mobility. So he's obviously he's not a statue in the pocket. He can evade the rush, and not only can he evade the rush, but it allows his receivers more time to get open. And we've seen him do that throughout these last 5 games. Like it'll look like there's no receiver open. The pass rush is right in his face. Sometimes he'll just step up, deliver the throw, take the hit, or he'll run away. Maybe he'll run to a first down, or maybe he'll run and look for an open receiver. And that's something that's another element to this offense we haven't really seen with Jimmy. Jimmy was a little mobile, but BP is definitely, another level. There's no doubt about that.
Now, one good thing I say about our defensive line, we don't have a lot of pass rushers, but we have
Okay.
a lot of disciplined pass rushers. They don't always get home, but they know how to generate pressure without giving up running lanes. If you guys pay attention to our team, we don't have a lot of quarterbacks that really go off against us against the run anymore. Like we got Jalen Hurts, we got to deal with him twice a year.
Yeah.
He hasn't really gone off on us like he has on other teams. And then you look at the guy that's been crowned as White Vic, Daniel Jones. That's what they call him, White Vic. He's getting 50, 60 yards against everybody else, but against us, we pretty much learn how to neutralize them because our guys know how to stay in their rush lanes and keep that discipline.
No, hey, that's great. That's great to know, and that's good that we're going up against a sound defense because that's also something which I think about the 49ers defense at times. Like the last man on the line has to keep that outside leverage. The
Mm-hmm.
last man on the line has to keep contained so you don't allow that big run on the outside by the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And Dak was making plays with his legs. That's
Mm-hmm.
obviously another added development or added element that he has in his tool bag. And that's something honestly that the 49ers have kind of struggled with is mobile quarterbacks. I mean, we let Jarrett Stidham eat us up with the
Yeah.
Raiders. I mean, that game was 34-31, I think. I think that was an overtime game, I think.
Yeah,
But
it was. Yeah.
yeah, so going into that game, Jarrett Stidham was supposed to be a statue. This guy can't move around, and man, he definitely surprised us. So I think that's one element that Dak. I think it'll definitely benefit him in the Cowboys offense to move around, run for a few first downs. I think that's definitely an advantage the Cowboys could have.
Mm-hmm.
Going up against the 49ers. Speaking of our defense, obviously we're led by Nick Bosa. I think he is the defensive player of the year, led the league with 18 and a half sacks. We are healthy up the middle. We missed Eric Armstead and Javon
Oh,
Kinlaw a
Kinlaw.
lot. Yeah, Kinlaw. I think this is his maybe third game
Third.
back.
Okay.
Yeah, he missed at least I don't know, at least 8 to 10 games this year, at least with knee issues. Armstead had like plantar fasciitis in his foot, but I think he's been back for at least maybe 4 or 5 games. But he's definitely made a difference in the run game. He also had a sack last week against Seattle. So not only do you have pressure coming from the edge, but you also have it coming from the inside. Kinlaw isn't a great pass rusher, but we're really just expecting him to take up double
He's
teams
just a big body.
and yeah, take up space, stop the run and let the linebackers feel. That's basically what we want Kinlaw to do.
Mm-hmm.
And also opposite of that, we have Samsung Ebukam, who's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Omenwehu, another great trade by John Lynch in the season he
Yeah.
had last week. I think he had the singular play that flipped the game last week where Seattle, they were in their red zone, so they were only 20 yards away from scoring a touchdown. I think it might have been a third down play. Geno Smith takes a snap, steps back, and Charles Omenwehu gets pressure. Not only does he sack Geno, but he causes a fumble as well. Nick Bosa recovers, and the game wasn't the same after that. I think that happened in the third quarter, and the
Mm-hmm.
Seahawks only scored a touchdown for the rest of the game. So that play really flipped it for the 49ers. And Charles Omenwehu, I think he's a free agent this year. But
Yeah.
we have I say that to say we have depth along the defensive line, and you can't just single out Bosa. You got to worry about a whole bunch of guys. Um, you know, in order to give Dak time in the pocket to throw. When
Mm-hmm.
Dak has time, hey, I think he can look like he did last week, right?
Right.
He can't do nothing wrong. But when he's pressured, I think we could see a different Dak. Maybe the Dak that's throwing those 15 ints.
You never
Maybe we'll
know.
see that Dak. So we'll see what happens. But I definitely like our defensive line. I like our O line. And